Everyone, it's Debbie Debonair here, and welcome to Spotlight Friday. I'm so thrilled and excited today to share with you the lives of two beautiful, beautiful souls. Agnes and Cassia are sisters, perfect sister duo, they call themselves, but they're also known as the Oil Sisters. They were born and raised in Warsaw, Poland, where they grew up in communism. And in 1993, their parents emigrated to Australia. Sorry, to
Poland.
Australia, the United States. No idea where I got Australia from. Oh, goodness me. Sorry, emigrated to the United States. So I'm going to hand you over to Cassia and Agnes, and they are going to share with us what it was like while they were in Poland and that big transition to going over into the United States, and then tell us the challenges, adversities they went through to now be doing what they're doing in life today. Ladies,
hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Debbie, for having us. We'd love to be here sharing our story with whoever watches this video and with your group of amazing people. And, hopefully we can, maybe inspire somebody, maybe help somebody. Maybe somebody is going through hard times right now, and just hearing us talking, they'll just maybe feel better a little bit, and that's fine. That's enough for us. So Thank you for having us.
No, it's my pleasure. It's my absolute pleasure.
Yes, thank you, Debbie. This is so exciting. We always love chatting with you. It's always fun. It's always uplifting, and we love meeting new people. And you are one of our newest friends, because I think we can consider you a friend now.
Oh, absolutely.
I hope someday we'll meet.
In person.
And,
in
definitely.
person, and that'd be great. So Agnes, you want me start a little bit about when we so we grew up in Poland, and that's in Europe. If someone's not good with geography. Yes, we grew up in a big city, we spend most of our lives now in the United States, but those few years of our lives, that's what really shaped us. And I think that's why is it so important to go back to those years. I was 17 years old when I moved to United States. So anything that, you develop, it really shaped me back when I was in Poland. And I'm not sure if Agnes remembers as much as I do, but we grew up in a communist country where everything was the same. We dressed the same. We, if we didn't have exposure to any other countries, really. We had 2 channels on TV, so yet with just being in one country, revolving in our own little lives, our parents had a bigger dream for us. They somehow heard about this country that, their daughters can have so many more opportunities than they had. So looking back, I didn't understand why we moved. All of a sudden, my parents picked up the bags and said, "We leaving." Basically, we really didn't have any choice. I mean, at 17, maybe you think I was grown up and could make that decision, but no. In Polish culture, you don't have much to say until you probably get married. So yes, I was 17, Agnes was 14, and we packed our bags, like bags. I'm talking about like one bag, and move overseas. We didn't even speak any English, and leaving school, leaving friends that you had for years. and family, cousins, and it was a shock, for sure. But I think our parents were so strong that really we really had nothing to fear in a way. They made us feel like this is the
Yeah.
right decision, this is what we're doing, and there is no turning back. So we didn't have a plan B. This was a plan A. And pretty much what they told us, this is going to be our new house, new life, and we're going to make it big. We're going to make it big. I mean, this is what they kept telling us, so that's how we went about our lives. There was no question like, what about if something's not going to happen? Like, no, we just said, yeah, we're going to go to school, we're going to find a job, and that's it. Like, that's what the goal was. Agnes, what's your feelings about that?
Well, I moved when I was 14, so I don't really remember as much as Kasha does, how we grew up. I mean, I was a child still then. I wasn't focused on, the politics, anything that was going on around me. I was focused more on myself at that time, as a kid, and my friends, and that I had fun, and that's basically it. But we both, can you hear my dog?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay.
Both being teenagers, and that's like, teenager years are so, like, I almost want to say sensitive, and
important.
Teenagers,
I would say important,
yeah, and teenagers, we always like, and I don't want to make it sound that it's not important, but it's like, it's such a important chunk of your life, and to be moved from one country to another, leaving what you're familiar and what you love, especially the friends, because at that time it was the friends that really kept us, kept us like alive and
going.
We didn't have jobs then, we were too young, so we didn't have like our own families, it's just our parents, but we had them in the States. And to go in, like, for me, I moved and I went straight to high school, and not knowing the language, joining kids that already had groups together because they grew up together. They went to schools from elementary school together. They had the groups already. They already had their formed friendships. And here I was, and Kasha, same thing. I think at that time, we were the only foreign people in the school, and especially from Poland. I think there were some other people like from Mexico, but very few. So we, of course, had to take ESL, English as a second language.
Yeah.
But to be thrown into the high school, and I remember to this point, it's like first 2 weeks, I could not even swallow the lunch. It was just like a big thing sitting in here. Wow. I was so nervous because as like new school, I don't understand anything they're saying to me. And I think because it was so stressful, to this point I do remember that, and I go back to that feeling because it was quite bad and stressful for me. But as you said, Kasha, our parents, there was no plan B, and we knew why we doing this. We understood that there is an end goal somewhere out there for us, and we kept together as four of us. We helped each other, especially us helping our parents. With us, we learned English pretty fast. We were still young enough.
Yes.
But for our parents, they were in their 50s, 40s? It was so, it was hard. Every phone local, we had to make for them anything. We went to a house closing with them when they were buying their first house.
We used to go to the doctor office
Yeah.
with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I think it shaped us. What we did for our parents and with our parents, I think it shaped us in the people that we are now. And you know, I always say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Yeah.
And you know, was high school my favorite experience? No, I have to say
No.
it wasn't. But you know what? I did find a group of people, amazing people from Poland, close by with Kasia. You know, we joined a group of Polish people. That's what kept us. You know, we became friends with them because we could have relate. You know, we all went through the same thing. And that's what kept us going. And after all, it made us so much stronger than, you know, than we were, because we did go through that experience. And, you know, we made it out both from high school with amazing results. I mean, we were on top of our classes, you know, both of us. We ended up going to colleges for business degrees. We both got 4-year degrees with bachelor degrees. You know, went on with our lives, met our husbands, had children, joined corporate world with jobs. And, you know, because we always said, we always were striving. We were always taught to strive high, you know, don't let ourselves too low. Like, and you know what, the thought of the language barrier, it was always there, and it kind of is still there, like for me at least. You know, when I have to speak, you know, like I remember in the corporate world when I had to like be in the room of, you know, executives, that was always my thought. I'm like, what if I can find you know, the word to use, or like, so it is still there, but you know, I have to bring myself back and say, Agnes, no. Look where you are. Look how much you have accomplished. And, you know, it's amazing because these people that you're talking to, they probably didn't go through, I'm sure they didn't go through that. So like, you are so much over them. Like your experience itself is so much bigger than theirs. So that's what keeps me going. And that's actually what, you know, keeps me going up, you know, and gets me through and gets us pretty high.
Yeah, I have to say though, I mean, the courage of your parents is absolutely phenomenal. You know, not to just kind of uproot themselves, but uproot 2 young girls, you know, who, like you say, had their own friends, were settled, you know, had grown up in this particular place, but, you know, so brave and courageous to want something much more for both of you.
Yes, and you know, for them it was they all had, you know, very good jobs in Poland. They had degrees, and when they came to America, they basically left all that in Poland. They had to start from the beginning. My mom started cleaning houses. Dad went, you know, from working in the office to installing playgrounds. Like, you know, very physical works where they were, you know, in the offices, easy jobs, easy. You know what I like?
Physically easy, but not mentally easy.
Just, you know, now as I am a parent, I understand that now, like how tough for them it had to be. And you know, we made a move also with my family from New York to Georgia, and my girls were first grade, you know, not that old. And it was already really stressing us that, you know, our older one, she already started school, and we moved in the middle of the year, and I was already stressing, moving her from state to state to another school. And so I just can't imagine how my parents went from, you know, totally different countries and cultures, languages, everything.
I mean, look at, we are in our 40s now. That's when they move. I mean, I can imagine leaving everything that you work for all life and going to another country with another language. And it's just, that's now, you know, so many years later, I realize how huge that was.
Yeah, it's absolutely mind blowing for me as an outsider. You know, I a bit like you, Agnes. I moved from the northeast of England to the northwest of England, and that was huge enough. And that was just me and my husband. You know, I didn't have my son then, and that was huge. So to go from actually, you know, a country. I mean, I don't know how big Poland is, but to go from Poland to the United States, which is huge.
Yeah, we never flew a plane before until
That
we
day.
had to go to United States. Oh my gosh, that I remember. I was so scared. I was like, okay, this is the day I'm gonna die. Like literally, because I didn't even know. I had no idea what does that mean to get on a plane and fly. Like
Yeah.
what? Yes. So that was the first time when I flew a plane.
And actually, when we moved, actually, my dad moved first. Then one summer, three of us flew, and we left Kasia there with our dad. And me and my mom returned to Poland for a year. So we had a half a family in the America and half still in Poland. I was in eighth grade then, and my parents decided that they want me to finish
Finish.
eighth grade. It was called elementary school in Poland. So they wanted me to finish that. And to be away from, from my sister, alone too, that was like already wow. And I'm sure, I was with mom, and it's usually the kids,
Yeah.
usually, mom is I don't know, we can relate to moms, I guess, better, the kids. So I just can't imagine Kasia being there without her mom and being with the dad for that much, I mean, I think maybe it would be,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
I had to do
parents,
the
but
laundry.
that bond.
I had to do the laundry. Yes. So yeah, that was my chore. But yeah, we had to make sure that it was all nice and comfortable when you guys came. And yeah, I mean, my the first year, that all he did is work. Seriously. So you know what I did? I just did my homework and watch operas, like opera, operas. What were they? Soap operas after
Yeah.
school. And I learned English in no time, just from soap operas. I literally, I follow every single one. I got home at 3 o'clock, put the TV on, and 3 to 6 first, I had no idea what they're talking about, right? But the people were so pretty, and they were also nice looking, dressed nice, and that's where my dreams start appearing, because in Poland, we didn't have much of, I mean, we had a great life and great uh, upbringings, but there was not much of a luxury life, if you know
Yeah.
what I mean. There was no yachts or beautiful houses on the beach. Like, we didn't see this as much. So when you came to the United States, you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
why? So when you look at these people on TV, how they live, how their lifestyle, I was just looking at them. I didn't even understand one word they were saying. And like week by week went by, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know what they're saying. And and like in 6 months, I understood everything. And it just like it just absorbed to my brain. It was amazing how learning English was not even that hard. Like, of all struggles we went through, learning English was probably the easiest thing, because we were thrown in
Yeah.
situation, and that's it. My dad worked, so I didn't even speak to him in Polish all day. I had school 8 hours and then TV, and that was it. Like, and no wonder, all of a sudden you're like speaking another language.
And it's funny that you said that, because I remember exactly when we just came with mom. That was my first question to you, Kasia, is like, how do you learn English? Like, how did you learn so fast? And her response was like, one day you're just gonna wake up and you're gonna hear something, and all of a sudden you're gonna be like, oh, I understand. I actually understand everything.
Yes. Yeah.
For
It-
me,
it-
it was like, what do you mean you're just gonna wake up? Like it's just gonna come to you? Like you didn't actually sit there and study? She's like,
no.
no. And true, that came true. One day I woke up and I go, oh gosh, I actually understand every single thing that is said around me. I understand the radio. I understand kids in school.
Oh,
And you know that just proves how resilient not only your parents were, but you two were as young women. You know how
Yeah.
resilient you were to
mhm.
and also how trusting you were of your parents.
Mm.
They
You
made
know,
us feel that way,
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, there was never a question for us. I was actually speaking to somebody about this. You know, if we are going to college or not. There was not even a question. It
no,
was just like it was a path that both me and Kasha knew it's gonna have to be. How? We did not know how. I mean,
mm,
Kasha was going to college just after 2 years we've been to America. My
Yeah.
parents did not have savings or anything like that to
wow,
send her away to college. So, you know, we as a family had to figure it out how she's going to go to college, but we did. And, you know, both of us, yeah, we didn't go away somewhere to college, but we finished great colleges locally. And we figured it out because there was not a question. And we took out loans, we worked, and we did it.
Yep.
yeah, fabulous, absolutely fabulous. You know, I mean, and that was kind of just the start of it, wasn't it? You know, and leaving what you left behind doesn't seem. I'm not saying doesn't seem to have affected you because it would have affected you in different ways, but it didn't kind of see. It didn't seem to get in your way.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and that is real credit to you, both your parents, but also as you two as young women as well. You know that you uh, you didn't allow anything to get in your way. You know, when
Yes.
I think sometimes when things are handed to you on a plate and it's the norm, you take it for very much for granted, and you know rebel against it sometimes. Where you and your parents saw it as in some respects a big adventure, but also you knew that every day you were thriving for something, whatever that something was, you know, and it
Yeah.
was that thriving that kind of got you through each challenge was, what each hurdle was, you know. So what would you say was the biggest hurdles that you found you had to overcome, other than the language, obviously?
Uh, I think for me is um, to find a group of people, like to find friends. I think to fit in, finally to fit in, because
Mm,
definitely in high school, I definitely felt like an outsider all 4 years. So to actually fit in and you know, and I think it started in college when I venture out, started meeting new people, and all of a sudden these people were not looking at me like I am an alien from another
the
country.
planet, yeah.
I spoke English by then. Yeah, I had an accent, but the English was there, and I was accustomed to all the culture by then.
Yeah.
And then just when I started working and making friends at work, even like just working in college and seeing how open these people were that I worked with, and they took me in with such a warmth, and we are friends till now. I have them all on Facebook. But for I think being so feeling like an outsider for
Mm,
so many years, for 4 years, to actually feeling like I belong, like
yeah.
I'm welcome. I think that was for me the biggest thing.
What about you, Cassia?
You know what? I don't know. I feel like struggles or things that I overcome, it almost motivate me to go further. Like I almost don't look at them as struggles, because I mean everyone has their own shit. I
Mm,
mean, I really
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm sorry, but you know, yes, we went through moving and all, and you know, we had very supportive parents. I mean, if you look at this, it's like y- y- I'm grateful that I had the parents with me
Oh
to
yeah.
build me up. You know what I'm saying? Like moving, yes, maybe it was big, right? But I have very supportive parents that put me, and my sister. That's when we bonded together.
That's
That
right.
was the time that bonded. If that we lived on two different worlds before that. She was younger, I was older. I didn't want to have anything to do with her. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, so
siblings can relate to
just to
that.
tell Kasia, I'm sorry, just to tell, it's 3.5 year difference between us, just so
Yeah.
people have an idea. Yeah.
Yeah, and as a sibling, some of the people with siblings can probably relate. They
yeah.
sometimes we don't get along, and we did not. We just didn't care about each other too much. But when we moved to United States, we were almost forced to help each other to
Yeah.
grow together, and that's when we got to know each other. Really, that was
Mhm.
so that if you think about it, that's huge. That such a
Absolutely.
huge thing, and you know, and when you think everything is going great again, you know, we had we finished college, we got married, you know, then realize another life, you know,
Yeah.
another struggle hits you, you know. And I don't want to say, but like I don't, that's probably another topic. But I have two children with special needs, and I really think that's probably my biggest struggle
Yeah.
compared to my
Yeah.
to all that moving stuff from another country and yeah. So that's probably my
Yeah.
biggest struggle this at this point. But like I said, I hate hate. That's a very strong word. I'm sorry. I don't like using struggle. I don't like saying setbacks or whatever we call it, because everyone's going through some things. And you know, Debbie, you help these people. We help a lot of people. So these things I almost feel like they're motivator to me. Like, no,
Yeah.
you telling me I can do that? Oh, well, let me
Let
show
me
you.
show you. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. It is a big challenge for me to raise two special needs children. So,
And you
yeah.
do have, and you do an absolutely fabulous job, I have to
Oh,
say.
thank you, Debbie.
You
She
do.
Appreciate
is,
You
it.
do.
yes.
You are an
Thank you.
amazing woman. You really are.
So, like I said, life happens, and there's nothing around it. It's how you take it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And I think, you know, what we went through is what got us where we are right now.
Yeah.
You know, the even like the bond between us, you know, you never know if we stayed in Poland. We, like you said, you had your world, I had my world, and there was nothing combining us
No.
basically other than you sisters, you blood, and you never know if that bond would form. You know, it was probably always there, it just needed time and
Nurturing.
nurturing, exactly. But we did, you know, and I'm so glad that we did. And as you guys see, you know, we see our struggles differently, and we are totally different people. But I think that's what's great about us, is that that's why we work so well together, because, you know, Kasha's strengths, well, both of our strengths and weaknesses combined together,
Yeah.
that's what makes us us, you know.
Yeah.
And we complement each other. When one is weaker, the other one is stronger, and we pull each other, and vice versa. So
we are different, but we do have the same values,
yes.
and they are not shakable. I mean, you know, hard work. Yeah, hard work.
And planet There is no plan B again.
Yeah. The thing is, you've never had a plan B, so why have one now?
No.
So yeah, hard work,
Yeah.
consistency. It been proven us so much over years, and family, yeah.
So yeah, go ahead, Debbie.
No, go on. All right.
So I want to, bring us to a little more present. Like
That's just what
where
I was
we are
going to
now.
say. Yeah.
So the bond between us got so strong that we always wanted to do something together, like work together. And at that time when we both moved to Georgia, because we lived in New York for the longest time, and then the feeling of us working together and doing something started to form in us, and we were striving for that. But then Kasia moved away to Georgia from New York, and so that again we were separated for about 5 years.
Again.
Right. And we at this point we could not. I mean, at this point she had her own family, I had my own family, but still phone calls every day in the morning on the way to work. It was a non-negotiable phone call. If she didn't call me or I didn't call her, something was up.
Something wasn't right. Yeah.
Yes. Finally, I ended up joining both Kasia and my parents here in Georgia. And when I moved to Georgia, it was our goal to get me working with Kasia in the same corporate company.
Oh,
It was our goal. And Kasia had the company she was working on was a great company. So she said, "This is amazing. It's so family oriented company. You got to join me." She got me in for 2 interviews. I lost twice to an internal person, which is normal.
Yeah.
But so it took us some time, but finally in 2017, the right position came along. I got in. We started working in the almost same department. And we, by the way, we do live less than 10 minutes away from each other, just an FYI. and just to let you know, we still call each other every morning. That
beautiful.
phone call on the way to work still there, even though we are working from home now. We are not commuting anywhere, anymore to work. But working in a corporate office was fine and great. We we finally working, but we could always we felt something missing even. Even then we're because I think, and we still feel inside that I think we're meant to do bigger things, just a little bigger than what we were doing. And finally I think it was in end of 2017, we got introduced to doTERRA. And these were because we both wanted to move away from prescription medication. We wanted to improve our immune systems and immune systems of our families. We started using the products, not only fell in love with the products, but also fell in love with the company and its mission, how it was treating its employees, its customers. And it was almost like a light bulb came on. And within a month or so, I think we came up with the name Oil Sisters, because we didn't know what we're going to do, but we knew the name came to us, and we're like, let's have it just in case. And what are we supposed to do will come to us later.
Exactly. Yeah. Get the name, get the domain, and then we'll go from there.
Exactly. So that's how Oil Sisters came about, and we started sharing the amazing benefits of doTERRA products. And a lot of people know us, even as our friends. They call us, there goes the Oil Sisters.
Everywhere, yes.
So
everywhere.
Can you just explain to those who will come to the video later who may have never heard of doTERRA, what is it? What is doTERRA? What's it all about?
Well, it's the simplest and fastest way to describe it is the leading company producing essential oils. And if anyone doesn't know what essential oils are alternative, pretty much an alternative to natural alternative to medicine. Really, that's how we use it. So I don't know. That's the simplest way I would. It's the best company in the world because it has the most pure essential oils. They are 100% pure. There is no fillers. There is no synthetics. There is no funky ingredients. They're 100% pure, and that's why they are the best. The best company. That's it. And they have another great thing about this company is it has 65% retention.
Wow.
Which is yes, so that means when people try it, 65% of people come back to use products over and over, and that's comparing to other companies. It's all other companies only have 10 to 15% of retention.
Wow.
So yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
So what made you choose that avenue to go down?
Just that we researched that is the purest oils, and we didn't want to go half healthy. We went all the way. With my kids having so many issues, I was on a mission to eliminate all the toxins from my house. So my kids can operate the highest frequency, the highest possible. So since they were the purest, we went with that.
So what was it that kind of made you go? Did you have a kind of conversation together that we want to work on something together? What shall we go for? Or were you looking for a specific thing?
No, I think we long before doTERRA came along, we were always thinking about opening up a business and doing something. That's the world, something, because we were like, oh my God. And we were constantly thinking and brainstorming like, oh my God, what can we do? My dad always said, you both have accounting degrees. Why don't you open a tax firm? But that was not appealing to us. That was like, that's what we do now. We want to get away from that. We wanted to do something that, I think we would enjoy it, but
creative.
Creative, yeah. So, at some point it was office organization idea.
Wedding store. We wanted to sell wedding gowns. You name it, we had the idea.
But, but there was always, everything we had an idea. It was always like obviously there was an investment.
Yes.
That went along with it. The initial investment and money investment. And we're not necessarily happy about that. So when doTERRA came along, and it is an MLM business, within 2 weeks I had my wow moment with doTERRA, and Kasia as well, not that long after me, and just learning about the company, what they stand for. Something really clicked, and we were like, well, wait a minute, if other people are doing this as business, why couldn't we? And go ahead.
And the results that we saw on our families, it was like, oh my God. How many moms are like us? We looking for a solution for our kids. How many women that are exhausted and have no energy? We're like, oh my gosh, we have a gold in our hands. So the first was like, oh my gosh, these products are freaking amazing. And then we're like, oh my gosh, why don't we get paid for something we absolutely love? love, love, love. And it doesn't feel like work because we love this. We absolutely love this. We never, like, we had a conversation the other day that, you know what, no matter how much money we can make or not, we're going to be doing this for the rest of our lives because we love it.
Yeah. The thing is, I think because you saw the results with the products and what the products give you as a person, each one of you separately, you know, you have to have that belief and you have to have that passion. And the only way to find that is to try them.
Yeah.
You know, and because of the results you've got, each one of you, and for your families, you know, you can understand where the passion has come from.
Yeah.
You know, because of the results you've got.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think that helps, doesn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
it does. It does. And we keep getting results still up to this point. I
Oh my
always
God.
I always am so surprised because these oils surprise me on a daily basis. It's like, yeah, I've been using them for over 4 years, but it's like every day almost something new happens and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's made me feel so amazing, or this helped me with this. It's unbelievable. But I want to just quickly return to, you know, why doTERRA, like why we started doTERRA.
Yeah.
We had few opportunities, Kasia and me on its own, to hear about other oil companies.
Yes.
It just yet we never made the time to actually go and listen. We were invited to many of those because at that time we were allowed to meet in person, a lot of classes from other brands. Yet we never made a time, we never made it as our priority. Well, I bought a house and the lady next door introduced herself and she said she does doTERRA essential oils. And I go to Kasia, well, there is no excuse now. I am hosting a class and we're learning. I said, we wanted to learn about these oils for years now. Let's do it. And I always think when I stepped into this house that we are now in, when we were looking at it, this amazing energy came over it. And the minute I stepped into this house, I felt this is my house.
Oh, lovely.
Like I'm gonna live
beautiful.
here.
The oil
And
from the next.
I am a strong believer that everything happens for a reason. And I was meant to have this house. I was meant to live next to NG. And I was meant to be introduced to doTERRA because I had many opportunities to be introduced to other companies and I never took it. I didn't think it was important enough.
No.
And we just looked at each other. We're like, this is a business. Like, this is it. We're gonna make it.
Just felt right.
Yeah.
And like you say, it aligned to your values that you already had anyway. And when something falls in alignment and they've got the same, the same values, the same vibes, the same frequency, you kind of know, don't you? You just feel the feelings, don't you?
Oh yeah. And it's funny because it evolved from sharing with parents, sharing with mothers, to now we have created a residual income generator with Oil Sisters for coaches because and you were the inspiration, Debbie. Thank you. I think it's very important. I mean, we see the value of these oils and how much more they can bring to a transformation when a person is going through something and they're working on themselves. And I always look at it as a puzzle. If you're working to put together your own puzzles and one piece is missing, you're not full. That's not a puzzle put together. And with the coaching and with the oils, we can put your puzzle together and have a beautiful person.
Yeah. So do you talked earlier about classes. Do you still have those classes explaining, for example, what a particular oil does for someone, or what you would go to if you were depressed, or what you would go to if you were stressed, or a specific stress, or if there was grief in your family and you were really struggling with the grief? Are there classes that you hold to to explain to people what each of the oils give to you?
We do. We did move to Zoom because, we had to, but it's also so much easier. You don't have to leave your house. And we've noticed that classes take a lot of time from people, and we want to make it as easy as possible. So we do have Zoom classes that are general of like just talking about essential oils. But we strongly believe in a personal connection. We work with our customers on a personal basis. We do have a Facebook group that's general. We post information there. We have classes, but if a person has, very specific questions, we love to meet with them. Phone call, Zoom, whatever works for them, and we work with every single customer on a personal basis. Really.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think that in itself, because obviously you know me and you know how I work, I think that in itself just puts the, I don't want to say edge, but kind of shows you the passion that you have about what you do. You know what I mean? It's about the service you give. It's not about the residual income.
No,
and you can see that.
We want to connect with our customers. We want to get to know them truly too on a personal level.
And stress, for example, stress. I just want to, stress can be brought on by many different things. And it's very, we can't just say, if a person says, what would you recommend for stress? Yeah, I can tell you a few oils right away on top of my head. But, I would like to know what stresses you. Are you thinking more of a financial stress? Are you maybe going through a divorce? That, it's more of a heart and, mental stress. What's going on? Like, you don't have to tell me details of your situation, but where is this stress coming from? And then we can work on the protocol for you.
And that's good because like you say, you kind of not there to understand or help them. Like where if somebody came to me and discussed stress, they'd probably tell me all the details because of what I do. Do you know what I mean? But you are there with an avenue that they can go down that they may never have absolutely ever thought of, because it's not something that comes to mind for a lot of people, that, how powerful essential oils actually are. What their properties are, and how many different, I don't want to say ailments, but how many different things that someone may be going through, there are pure essential oils that potentially can help with the process. It may not clear the process, but it would be an added bonus and make the process easier.
Exactly. So, like, with the stress, Debbie, you would probably teach them tactics of how to eliminate the stress and how to deal with the stress. With us, with the essential oils, we would work from within, and maybe even on the angle of you help them with how to deal with the stress, but we're going to work on how to raise their vibrations so they're not constantly down. And that's why it really nicely comes together.
Complements each other.
Exactly. Very much so.
Someone, very stressed out, and the essential oils can take the edge off. And it's naturally without prescription and side effects. You can just get this edge off, and then you go with your techniques, with your coaching. It's just the perfect combination.
And I think that's it, isn't it? Really, it's having something that takes the edge off, like you say, Cassia, so that you have a bit more clarity to say, this is why I'm stressed. This is what's causing the stress. How can I overcome the stress? So it goes very much hand in hand. So it gives them the clarity. It frees up the the thought process. It frees up the tension. It frees up the heaviness. It frees up it kind of clears the air for them, if that makes sense.
The fog.
Yeah, the fog. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I do clear fog in what I do. That's purely because of how I do it. But
Right.
I think this is just, for those who don't go to a coach or don't go to a therapist or don't go to a counselor and just, want something to, as we said, take the edge off. It's a starting point, isn't it?
Yeah,
that gives them the peace.
Or even to open up, to even start talking to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some people will come to you, I'm sure, but for some reason they can't even open up, and that will really allow them to speak from their heart.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. So if I was to ask you both, what is the biggest thing that you've learned from moving from Poland to the USA, and then what's the biggest thing you've learned since you've embarked on being with doTERRA?
Moving to US, I think, is not to have a plan B. Just moving with your plan A and keep doing it. And and it doesn't happen overnight. It's a consistent work, and it will eventually happen. So that's from moving to US, but doing doTERRA, oh my gosh, there's so many things that I'm allowed to be creative. I don't need to work all the time. To have fun, because I finally, at first I was treating this as a business, as work, and I'm like, well, this is a fun work. So I had to shift a little bit. I'm not gonna, lie. It was always so pretty, but then you realize that, this is a part of the business that I want to be creative. I want to be, I want to feel good about it, and I want to make it the way I want it.
It's a vocation rather than a job.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah, and I want to keep it that way. I mean, it is a business too, but I want to have it more flexibility with it.
Yeah. What about you, Agnes?
For me, moving to America, I think it's keep moving forward and don't look back. It's what happened in the past. Yes, it shaped you in the person you are, but that was there. Keep moving forward, keep looking up. And for doing doTERRA, I think be open-minded, because we had to be very open-minded with this. It's the way we were expected to do this business was not our way, unfortunately. And we had to be very open-minded to how we wanted to do this business, and we did not stuck to what we were told to do. And we had to be open-minded last year, very much so, with everything shutting down. And our business ran on meeting people, being person to person. So we really had to be open-minded last year.
You certainly did. You certainly did. Oh, listen, ladies, it has been an absolute honor to spend this time with you both. Thank you so much for sharing, moving from Poland, having your new life in America, getting through what those milestones that you had to get through, and to be where you are today. It's just amazing. I have, from when I first met you, was it last year or the year before? I can't remember. I think it was the year before. And, I've seen how much you have grown. And it's just beautiful to watch. And I just wish you every success in your lives and in your business moving forward. I really do.
Thank you, Debbie.
So appreciate it. Yes.
Thank you for having us here.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. As I say, an absolute honor. Thank you so much.
So appreciate. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you.